everyone, so excited to be here today. My name is Rachel. I'm an influencer strategist here at Grin. Prior to Grin, I was the head of influencer at Liquid IV, where I grew their program for almost 3 years, as well as being a customer of Grin's. I'm so excited to chat with you today alongside my coworker, Katya.
And I am Katya. I am currently the director of content at Grin, but also a former customer turned Grinner for life. I lead the content marketing strategy and host the Grin Gets Real podcast, a podcast for marketers by marketers and the Brands Talking Influencers Fireside Chat series. Today, Rachel and I are going to be showing you a little bit about Grin. Grin is the world's first creator management platform designed for that next generation of brands who are truly recognize that in this creator economy, authenticity is everything. We understand that there are multiple ways to run a program, and what we essentially want to do is give time back. So we want to minimize how much time people are spending sending emails out to creators, following up with creators, packaging things up to send out to creators. We're removing all of the busy work so that you can spend time really building those authentic relationships, because essentially those creators are going to be your brand storytellers, and you want to be able to have that connection with them. In addition to that, we want to have one place where people are asking one another about best practices. What are you doing? What's working? What's not working? What can I learn from you? What can we learn from each other? And I think that that's really what makes Grin an outstanding platform. Today, our aim is not just to show you a peek behind the curtains, but also to share with you a little bit of how we solve common problems in the world of influencer marketing. We understand that finding a creator that can authentically represent your brand and share your brand story takes more than just a search engine. Best practices is to start close to home, your family, your friends, and customers who already know and love you. At Grin, we call those influential customers. Rachel, why would you tap into your customers?
I think we know that influencer works well when people have actually tried the product. So tapping into your customer base is a great way to go ahead and kind of skip to the finish line. At Grin, we have something called influential customers, where we pull in the last 50,000 orders connected to your Shopify store, as well as their reach. So you can see who of your current customer base already has a social following. You can also see what products they purchased. Maybe we want to send them a different flavor or color or product that they haven't tried. And you can also filter by networks and how many followers they do have. It's a great way to tap into that customer base without having to do any really manual lift on your side.
Social listening is also another great tool that we have in Grin to help you find those right creators. Our tool helps identify creators by hashtags and specific mentions. There are a couple of ways that you can leverage this. You can monitor your competitors to see which creators they're working with, but also identify common hashtags that they're using that you may also want to be part of. You can also find potential new influencers by following trending hashtags that are associated with relevant creators that are already working really well for you. Now, we understand that many brands get a ton of inbound requests, but not have a real streamlined way to organize them. How do we solve that in Grin, Rachel?
So at Grin, we have something called a landing page where you can collect all of their details, shipping address, any custom properties, have they tried the brand before, their birthday, what kind of skin type do they have. So we collect all these details along with their social network. Once the influencer presses submit, it's going to show up here in your Grin inbox, essentially. So here we can see, the reach associated, their answers to those questions, even their Instagram credibility score, to make it really easy to make those decisions of whether they're worthy of pursuing or if you want to send a really nice rejection. The other great thing is you can send that link on the previous page to your customer service team, to your social media manager to send out via DM. The other really great note is that this form requires no dev work on your team. Grin creates it all by just you putting in a picture, some text, really seamless and simple, and we host the website for you. Katya, how else would you work with influencers? What's the next step after these inbound requests?
The next obvious step is the typical creator search engine, which is what we have. Now, ours is not as typical of a marketplace. That's more like a job board. You can find influencers on our creator search from Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. But the true power is less about the search and more about the lookalike feature. What do you think, Rachel?
One of my favorite features is our Chrome extension. This is so cool. So you can download it today for free. It doesn't cost anything. And when you add it, it's going to show you high-level stats of that influencer, their engagement rate, their follower count. If you do have a Grin subscription, you're actually able to import them directly into the CRM by here, and even adding a contact stage.
The next question is, how can I scale my program? And what I would say is by working smarter, not harder. Grin's CRM functionalities really allow you to work and manage campaigns, your communication, and all of your contracting really in one spot. And because we understand that there really is no one size fits all when it comes to working with creators, we've made it as flexible as it can be for any workflow. We've got built-in templates that are already in the system, or you can build your own templates for outreach and follow-up. But we also have email sequences as well. Within the emails, you can send them at scale using variables like obviously their first name, their handles. If there is something within a custom field that you want to include in there as well too, before they go out. Is there anything that I left out when it came to the email integrations?
Most of the influencers don't know that Grin is working behind the scenes. So I think that really allows for more communication. So there can be a little bit more negotiating. Also, you have an opportunity to product seed. There's not this expected payment. I also think doing it at scale. So, when you're sending an email, being able to personalize or even send a specific sequence to your mommy bloggers versus your triathletes. That is really important. And I think for those initial stages of conversation, they tend to be quite similar. So yes, we want personalization always, like first name and signature, and even referencing their profile, but most likely you're going to be sending a little bit of the same email. So having a template really allows for growth and the sequence. I know with my influencers, not everyone checks their email every day. And I think also, influencers go on vacation. So being able to have that follow-up email in the sequence. So right here, when we're starting a sequence, you can set the time frame for whether they've opened the email, whether that's replied, and Grin will automatically send that reminder email to just increase your chances of getting an open rate and a reply. Speaking of open rate, you also can A/B test your email subject lines. In Grin, we show the percentage of each template and what that open rate is. I found that really helpful with my own program to personalize that communication and use the one that's working the best. Another thing here is that our tagging system is amazing. So to stay organized, I really encourage tags and custom properties. So tags are internal facing only, such as California influencers, as well as custom properties. So custom properties are the same as tags, but outward facing. So if we're collecting their birthday, if we're collecting, having them self-identify their demographic or category. What's nice about tags is then you can layer on in the reporting and data when trying to find creators. So for instance, if we wanted to find creators that have made over $500, have 20,000 plus Instagram followers, and also live in California, you can layer those filters on as well as the tags that you have selected to find those exact creators to initiate for your next campaign or activation. So there's so much you can do. And so there's a lot of columns you can add. There's a ton you can do to really make the data work for you. I think that's something that before I had a program like Grin, I was swamped in all of the menial tasks like creating Shopify orders, creating those codes one by one. And so Grin really gives you time back in your day to be strategic and look at the data. I'm personally a data nerd and love diving in to find out what's working and also what's not working. Once you have all of this data and the influencers you've reached out, how do you tell it's working?
How can you tell it's working? I feel like it's the question of every marketer's mind. Did the campaign work? Did the influencer even do anything? Showing that working with creators can be a challenge if you're focused only on sales. Our reporting and analytics puts the power of data in your hands so that you can really show the success and value from all marketing objectives. Rachel and I have talked about this before, that what we have in Grin is everything from the 30,000 foot view to boots on the ground when it comes to data.
I really like that analogy. More so because I think it helps. There's so much with reporting and data. Sometimes it can be overwhelming, honestly. Following up with posts, what was their impressions? What was the engagement? So Grin really makes it easy. So this is our 30,000 foot view, the highest level, kind of how your program is doing overall. You can track your brand growth, number of creators, engagement, conversions, payment. You can also click into each of these sections, but this gives you that high level view. So when you're VP of marketing or your boss asks you like, how is the influencer program doing? This is a really good place to start. You can also filter by date range here. So what I would do is go in every Monday, filter by Sunday to Monday, pull those stats to see, okay, what happened last week and where do I want to dive in to find out the why behind. So once after this view, our next view of reporting is for the campaign itself. So these are a specific subset of creators, and here you're really able to dive in a little bit deeper. So this top row right here is all of those revenue metrics. Because again, we integrate with Shopify, we're able to calculate the revenue conversions with either an affiliate link or discount code. But also the ROAS, versus spend. One of my favorite parts is that this calculates the shipping cost plus MSRP. So it calculates how much product you're sending out to kind of get the biggest bang for the buck. The bottom row, of course, is all those brand awareness metrics. And then here you can sort by, your top content driver, your top revenue driver, to really see who's working. I think also on the flip side, who's not working, who you've sent 5+ product sends to and they haven't posted once. I think that's also important here. And then our last layer of reporting is a report builder. Again, I loved living in the data, and I would come to Report Builder to kind of ask those why questions. So again, when my VP of marketing said, why was revenue down last month? I could really go here and answer those questions by, again, layering tags and specific filters. So here we have 5 layers of reporting. Program is overall, but we can also dive into conversions. Even content. This is one of my favorite views right here because it shows in colors the types of content. So potentially if we're running a TikTok campaign, we only want to see like how many TikTok videos we've done month over month. Right here is a week, but let's change the filter and do, let's do the last, actually let's do all time. So I'm gonna go here, press all time. And so here you can see, over the years, how many TikTok videos, in 2021, it looks like we got a little bump. 2022, we're not there yet. So I think being able to see which network the type of content is being posted on is as important. There's so much I can explain here. These are just a few of my favorite graphs. And the last thing I wanted to note is up here, this kind of roll-up view you have control over. So potentially what's important to me in my program may not be yours. So you really have control of what you want to view. And again, layering on a specific filter. You can also look up a specific influencer.
What I really like about our reporting is that we have more data points than any other platform out there. What we basically want to do is give you a million different ways to be able to slice and dice them. Because the true magic behind influencer marketing really is the content, and being able to identify what content is working for you is really going to be like this bridge between the influencer marketing manager and the rest of the marketing organization. When it comes to just kind of content in general, as an influencer marketing manager, you're wondering, are my creators even posting? When are they posting? Knowing where to find that content, how to organize it, and how to know what to repurpose and share it with the rest of the team can be daunting. We understand that, and we've made the process a little bit easier with our content creators section within Grin.
I love this section because it does the work for you. So when setting up campaigns in Grin, you're going to put in either an @ mention or a hashtag, one or either, it doesn't have to be both. And Grin is going to scrape all that content and pull it in for you. This is amazing. I remember pre-Grin, I was chasing down content. I had to be on my phone on weekends, making sure that my influencers were posting. So this is really great because we collect all of that content and store it here in this kind of hub. Also really great to work cross-functionally. If your marketing manager reaches out and wants to repurpose a piece of content for an ad, you can sort by, the piece of content that had the highest view rate or highest engagements. So something I wanted to do was to find male creators. This is really great to find those specific pieces of content. The other great thing is you can click in, see really high-level stats, as well as the content rights. So with Grin, we collect those content rights and put it on each piece of content so that you can repurpose it for your other marketing needs. But everything lives in this one place. No more chasing down content. It's just gonna be in here magically.
Now, I mentioned bridging that gap between influencer marketing managers and the rest of the marketing organization. How you do that is within the media library. The media library allows you to organize all of that content that your creators have put together within those campaigns. You can organize your folders maybe by specific campaign, by season, by color maybe, or even by initiative. It's really one of these ways that your social media manager, your paid media manager can just go into Grin and find all of those high performing content pieces to be able to repurpose for other things like your website, your email newsletter, your paid ads, or maybe even just posting something on your social media feed. Now, with all of what we've shown you today, I think that we have a few other things that are just kind of our favorite pieces of Grin that we didn't get to touch on today. Rachel, what is that last favorite feature that you want to make sure that people are aware of for today?
So one of my favorite features of Grin is actually not the tech itself, but our customer success team. So with Grin, you get assigned a customer success manager that is really there for you every step of the way. One, to teach you how to use Grin itself. There's so many ins and outs and so many things you can do with it, but also to kind of bounce ideas back and forth if you have a question on an email template or a subject line, or hey, why isn't this working, or what's happening. There's so many layers of support at Grin. In addition to the customer success team, we have an amazing tech support team that answers tickets in less than 7 minutes. Katya puts on amazing webinars that are free for everyone. But I think as a Grin customer, there's so many layers of support, and my CS manager was as much as my success as myself. So I really appreciate the support at Grin. What's your favorite part about Grin, Katya?
I mentioned this before, but we very much so recognize there is no one size fits all when it comes to how to run an influencer marketing program. It is part of the reason that, our webinar series is so popular, because it's great to be able to hear how other people manage their programs. And Grin is built in to be that flexible. So regardless of what your workflow is, we've built a foundation for that type of flexibility. In addition to that, we know that the kind of social media landscape is ever changing, and we're consistently listening to our customers to see what kind of tools they need within Grin to help them take their program to the next level. So it's a matter of being flexible and being honestly really good listeners to our customers so that we can build a tool that really, really helps marketers.
I love that you said that too. I remember as a customer, I talked with our head of product a couple times. She actually reached out and asked me for my feedback. So we take feedback really seriously at Grin. We're always submitting things to our product team to implement. And I think your point about flexibility is really important. Yes, there's kind of a standard way to do influencer marketing, but there's a lot of other ways that you can use Grin. Potentially you're reaching out to creators for a Sephora review. That's not a social network task. Maybe you're working with them on content collaborations. So there's really multiple ways to set up campaigns to work with creators. There's so much you can do. And I think having that one-on-one email communication really supports that. The last thing I will mention is our special offer. Katya, do you want to introduce the offer? It's so exciting.
For WIM community members, you can now receive 50% off of onboarding and an extra month free. Just head over to grin.co/WIM. That's grin.co/WIM.
I think what sets us apart here at Grin is we are truly trendsetters. Our team is following social media and influencer marketing so closely. So that means we're prioritizing video and really adapting with the ever-changing industry. I also think our customer success team is amazing at support and really helping you every step of the way. I know technology can be kind of daunting, and having someone that can hold your hand and be willing to answer an email or jump on a quick Zoom to answer your question with a share screen, I think is really valuable. The other thing is our Shopify integration. Really being able to quickly send orders and adapt in an ever-changing industry, I think is really valuable. Katya, what do you think?
I think that what also makes Grin so special and different from any other platform is that it gives you time back. It doesn't run your program for you. It allows you to be more strategic about your program so that you can spend time where it matters, and that's in building those authentic relationships with creators.
I would also just add, I think something really important is spending time on what matters and really the good, juicy stuff. So all the stuff that can be made efficient and kind of done at scale, we help with that. And then the things that are important, like that one-on-one communication, being able to look at the data and spend time to say, okay, what's working, what's not working? Let me try this. Let me talk to my team. I want to try this brand new idea. No one has done that before. I think that's really what's key is it's giving time back in your week to be strategic and make those data-driven decisions. The other last piece I will add is, again, our customer service team. With that being said, thank you guys so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Come check us out at Grin. Influencer marketing, we can go on and on, but thank you again.
Thank you so much. We look forward to having you guys be part of the Grin community. Bye.